If you're over 60, your long run might not be helping you as much as you think. Now let me be clear, I'm not against long runs. Long runs still matter. I love long runs. They build endurance, confidence, and race readiness. But here's the problem. A lot of older runners judge a long run by one thing alone. Did I finish it? And that's the wrong question. Because after 60, the real question is this. What did that long run cost you? Did it make you stronger? Or did it wipe you out for days and derail the rest of your week and quietly slow your progress? If your long run leaves you feeling buried instead of built up, it may be too expensive. In this video, I want to show you how to tell the difference. Hi, I'm Ralph, the Ageless Runner. On this channel, we talk about how to run smarter, go longer, stay ageless. Thank you for being here. And today, we're talking about one of the biggest training mistakes older runners may make, treating the long run like it's automatically the most important run of the week. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's the very thing holding you back. Let's start here because I don't want this message misunderstood. The long run still matters after 60. It helps build aerobic endurance. It improves your ability to stay on your feet longer. It prepares you mentally for longer races, and for many runners, it builds confidence. So this is not a video telling you to skip long runs. It's a video about making sure your long run is actually doing its job. Because the goal is not to complete a long run at any cost. The goal is to do a long run that your body can absorb, recover from, and benefit from. That's the difference. Here's the hidden mistake. A lot of runners think that if they finish the long run, it must have been productive. But finishing it does not prove it helped. You can survive a run that your body has no business repeating regularly. You can grind through a distance that feels heroic in the moment, but leaves you paying for it for the next several days. And that cost matters as we get older. A research review looked at age-associated differences in recovery from exercise-induced muscle damage and concluded that aging can change how recovery unfolds after harder exercise. That doesn't mean every older runner recovers poorly. It does mean recovery deserves more attention than many runners give it. So when you judge a long run, you can't look at just the run itself. You have to look at what happens next. What happens the next morning? What happens 2 days later? And what happens the rest of the week? Because if one run damages the quality of everything that follows, it may not be helping your training at all. So how do you know if your long run is too expensive? Here are some signs. First, you need several days just to feel normal again. Some fatigue is expected normal. That's part of training. But if your long run leaves you dragging for 3, 4, or 5 days, that's a warning sign. You're not just tired. You may be overpaying for the benefit. Second, your easy runs feel harder than they should. An easy run after a long run may feel a little flat. But if every post-long run easy day feels like a struggle, that tells you the long run is taking too much out of you. Third, your legs stay heavy deep into the week. You shouldn't feel like you're carrying Sunday's long run on Thursday. If that happens regularly, the long run may be too long, too hard, or too frequent. Fourth, you start skipping other important work. If your long run is causing you to skip strength work, miss a faster session, or avoid a recovery run because you're still wrecked, that is stealing from your training week. That's not a good trade. Fifth, small aches start stacking up. A sore Achilles, a cranky knee, tight calves, a little heel pain that doesn't fully go away. That's often what too much looks like in real life. Not one dramatic injury, just a slow accumulation of warning signs. And six, every long run feels like an event. If you have to psych yourself up for it, suffer through it, and recover from it like it was a race, that's another clue. A long run should be challenging, but it should not feel like a mini race every time. Now, why does this matter more after 60? Because recovery often changes with age. That doesn't mean progress stops. It doesn't. It also doesn't mean every older runner responds the same way. But it does mean the cost of a hard effort may be higher, and the time needed to bounce back may be longer for some runners. That is exactly why recovery deserves more respect in older runners than it usually gets. You absolutely can improve after 60, but the path to improvement usually looks a little different. It's less about seeing how much training you can survive. It's more about finding the right amount of training you can recover from consistently. That's the sweet spot. So what is the real goal of a long run after 60? It is not to improve toughness. It is not to impress yourself with a number on your watch. And it's definitely not to drag yourself through a distance just because the training plan said so. The real goal is to build endurance at a cost your body can manage. That means the best long run is not the longest run you can survive. It's the long run that helps the rest of your training move forward. That's the standard. A good long run should leave some fatigue, but should also leave you able to recover, train again, and stay consistent, because consistency beats heroics every time. So what do you do if your long run is costing too much? Here are a few practical fixes. 1, slow it down. This is the first place to look. A lot of runners over 60 are not doing long runs too long at first. They're doing them too hard. They drift out of easy effort. I do that all the time. I'll zone out and pretty soon I'm running too hard. They turn the run into a grind. And by the end, the damage is much higher than it needed to be. If your long run is bearing you, back off the pace. Number 2, stop treating every long run like a test. Not every long run needs to prove anything. You don't need to see where you are every weekend. You don't need to finish strong every time. And you definitely don't need to turn every long run into a race rehearsal. Sometimes the smartest long run is the one that feels almost too controlled. Number 3, use run, walk, run to reduce the cost. Walk breaks are not failure. They're a tool. Used correctly, they lower the stress of the run, improve durability, and make the long run more repeatable. If walk breaks help you complete the run with less breakdown and better recovery, that's smart training, not weak training. If you're not doing run, walk, run and want to, please see my playlist linked below. 4, consider doing long runs less often. This is a point I believe strongly in. A lot of older runners don't need a truly long effort every single week. Depending on your age, training history, race goals, and recovery ability, every 10 to 14 days may work better than weekly, and that's where I am. That gives your body more time to absorb the work and keeps the long run from dominating the whole schedule. 5, fuel better. Some runners are making the long run harder than it has to be simply because they underfuel it. If you're underfueled before the run or during the run, fatigue rises faster. Form breaks down more and recovery gets worse. That's not toughness, that's a mistake. 6, protect the day after. The day after a long run matters. Sometimes that means a true recovery run, sometimes it means rest. But it should not mean pretending you're fresh when you're not. If the long run was a real stressor, respect that and recover accordingly. Here's a simple way to judge whether your long run is helping. Ask yourself these 4 questions. Did I recover in time to train well again? Did this run build confidence or just create exhaustion? Is it helping the rest of the week or hurting it? Could I repeat this regularly without breaking down? And that last one matters because the right long run is not one you can survive once. It's one you can repeat consistently as part of a smart training plan. If the answer to those questions is no, then a long run needs adjusting. Not because you're weak, because you're honest. And honesty leads to better training. If your current long run is too much, here's what I change first. Shorten it a little, slow it down, add walk breaks earlier. Make sure your easy days are truly easy, and pay close attention to how the next 2 or 3 sessions feel. That is key. The value of your long run is not decided when you stop your watch. It's decided by what it allows you to do next. That's the part many runners miss. So here's the takeaway. After 60, the long run can still be one of your most valuable training tools, but only if it builds you up more than it tears you down. If your long run leaves you exhausted, stiff, discouraged, or unable to train well for days, it may be too expensive. And that means it's time to adjust. Not eliminate it, adjust it. Because smart training after 60 is not about doing the most. It's about doing the most that your body can actually benefit from and recover from. And when you get that right, progress gets a whole lot more sustainable. If this sounds familiar, let me know in the comments. Has your long run ever helped your confidence but hurt the rest of your week? And if you found this video helpful, please like it and subscribe to the channel. Here at the Ageless Runner, we're all about learning how to run smarter, go longer, stay ageless. Again, I'm Ralph. Thank you for being here. See you in the next video.